Hey fam, I want to come on here so I can do my review of the Judas and the Black Messiah movie. It's currently available on the HBO Max and also in theaters. And I've gone through hell trying to get this done. You have no idea. Okay, so let me get started. Okay, so movie based on a true story. All right. Fred Hampton, main character, played by Daniel Kaluuya. We know him from Queen and Slim, Get Out, and Black Panther. We have William O'Neill, played by Lakeith Stanfield, and we know him from Get Out, The Photograph, and Uncut Gems. And then we have Deborah Johnson, played by Dominique Fishback. We know her from Project Power and The Deuce. And we have Jimmy Palmer, played by Ashton Saunders from Moonlight, Equalizer 2, and Native Son. These three actors, the three men, excellent actors, okay? All deserve Actor of the Year nominations, co-act, whatever. They all deserve it, okay? And if it's not for this movie, and there better be something. It's coming soon for each one of them. Then we have Jake Williams, played by Algie Smith. I hope I'm saying that right. He's from The Hate You Give, The New Edition Story, Detroit, and Euphoria. Then we have Judy Harmon, played by Dominique Thorne. She's from If Beale Street Could Talk. And the character she plays in this movie, Judy Harmon, is a badass chick. Okay, so basically this movie, Fred Hampton, he was the leader of the Black Panther Party, Chicago, Illinois, late 60s, early 70s. All right, and the movie begins in 89 with the interview, an on-TV interview called All Eyes on Me, interview of William O'Neill. The TV interview, they're asking him about the time period of the late 60s, early 70s, what his actions were during that time frame, and how he would describe those actions to his son. Okay, so from there, it goes on to the FBI agency. They feared the hell out of the Black Panthers. More so, they feared the hell out of Fred Hamilton. And they literally had everybody in the world thinking that the Panther Party was a greater threat to the U.S. national security than the Chinese and the Russians. And I'm still trying to figure that out, you know, being that those are two countries well armed with their own militaries. Anyway, the fact of the matter is that they had everyone thinking that the Black Panther Party was the KKK in black, okay? Nothing could have been further from the truth. That was an organization that educated itself, armed itself, and patrolled our communities to keep us safe from the police that were coming into our communities, beating us, murdering us, framing us for murders. You name it, the police were doing it. And they were policing the police with weapons. And that scared the hell out of the FBI. Literally, that's baffling to me. Anyway, they also gave a free breakfast to everyone in their community, for the kids that were there anyway. And this was a practice that Fred Hampton started when he was 10 years old. He had a community breakfast for kids in the area, and he made the food himself, okay? And then he went on later to, during high school, lead walkouts from the schools they were in. They basically had black and white students there and told black students you cannot participate in running for homecoming queen, prom king, queen. They told them they couldn't do it, so they walked out for that. And then Fred went to school for pre-law so he could learn how to use the law against the police. And that's exactly what he did when he joined the Black Panther Party. You just saw the madness that was going on here and the extra lengths that the feds would go through to try to get anything they could to shut down that party, to kill Fred. And they ended up injecting William O'Neill into the Black Panther Party and giving him every tool available so he could become closer with Fred. That way he could give them the information they needed, which ultimately ended up to them being able to assassinate him. Fred had his woman that he was with, Deborah Johnson. They were a great couple, had great chemistry on film, and she was able to balance him out. You were able to see that through this movie. You know, he was a blunt man, somewhat militant, and you did see her becoming somewhat of the perfect balance there. You'd have to see it, I guess, to understand what I'm saying. So not only did the Black Panther Party protect the black people in their area, they got all the poor white people in the area too. Anyone who was being screwed over, just given the short end of the deal when it came to the police and the government. They got him behind him. And I do mean the white poor guys with the Confederate flags that hated the black folks. They got them on their side too. I'm talking about Latin people, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Indians. They got everybody, Asians. I mean, they had a rainbow coalition for real. A ton of people united because Fred knew that the more people you had together, the more power you were able to have, basically. And you just saw this craziness go on with the police, with nothing new. It's the stuff that we see today, only we see it in real time on Instagram. You're able to see how he was able to inspire all these people and bring them together and truly make them effective. And this William O'Neill, wow, what a scum-sucking piece of shit he was. You see him basically infiltrate this group and become a puppet to the FBI, basically, who ultimately ended up drugging him, putting enough of the drug in his drink to where it would have knocked out a horse. They literally, some of the investigative work that I did basically said that they don't know if he hadn't been shot in the head, they don't know if he would have survived the drug itself. And what is so crazy is when he was assassinated, they were inside of an apartment, him and Black Panther Party members, sleeping 4 a.m. in the morning. The cops shot that place up so badly from outside. 99 shots went into that place. The Black Panthers, 1 shot was shot out. They didn't kill Fred from outside. That's how sloppy and how unskilled these police officers were when they came in. And feds, I don't even know. But basically, they didn't kill him. When they got inside, his pregnant fiance was on him, trying to wake him up, and the most he could give was barely opening an eye and slightly lifting his head. They took the fight out of that man. They took his defense away from him. They had to drug him. That's how pathetic organizations were against one black man, just one. And when they got her out of the room, they went in and looked and basically, oh, he might live through this. And then they shot him twice in the head. With her right there, she had her back turned, and they said, he's good and dead now. I mean, it was just freaking ridiculous. Then after this happened, the night that interview that the movie first started on with William giving his take on what happened between the 60s and the 70s, he basically was like, oh, I got out there and I was a part of something and I wasn't just at home talking about it and blah, blah. Yeah, you did. And you were a puppet for the FBI. You were just... Well, that night that interview aired on TV, he took his own life. And I can imagine why. So basically, after the assassination of Fred Hampton, who died when he was 21 years old. 21. He did all this work by 21. So after 12 years, the case... Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot my last piece of paper. So before O'Neill killed himself, he was paid off with some money and ownership of a gas station. That's what he got out of this. After the assassination happened, Fred Hampton's mother and another member of the Black Panther Party went after the feds, Chicago PD, and the state's attorney. They went for a $47.7 million lawsuit. And after 12 years, the case was settled for $1.85 million, and it was at the time the longest civil trial in U.S. history. 25 days after the assassination, Deborah Johnson gave birth to his son, Fred Hampton Jr. She remained a Black Panther Party member until Illinois' chapter dissolution in 1978. And today, Johnson, now known as Akua Najeri, serves on the advisory board of the Black Panther Party Cubs, a revolutionary organization continuing the ongoing fight for the self-determination of black people. Fred Hampton Jr. is the party's chairman. That's something good on top of all this. You guys, this is an excellent movie. You really need to see it. I give it a 9 out of 10, and you better look for it when it comes to award time because we're getting something off this one, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my review, hit the like button. Get down in the comments. Tell me what y'all think about this movie. Oh, and one other thing I got to say real quick. There was one part of this movie that I didn't understand, okay? When Fred Hampton was locked up in prison, he was at a table eating, and at the end of the table was a black man, a prisoner, He had no shirt on, and there was something carved into his chest, and I have no idea what it said. And even listening to him and going back and rewinding, trying to see, I don't know what was there. If you figure that out, put it in my comments. Let me know what that was, y'all. I'm baffled. Anyway, thanks for watching.